Hello everyone, my name is Zeinab. I'm a computer science master's student at Center for Data Science, and my research is on inferring missing attributes such as age and gender in social networks. Today I'm going to talk about the predictive models we built within the social media group at the center, and I hope you enjoy that. So these days, when we are talking about social networks, we do not have to define them anymore. They are part of our lives. We stay in touch with our friends, we find jobs on the other side of the planet, and this list can go on. Let's add some numbers to this. More than 3 billion of Earth population are online now. 2/3 of these people are using social networks, and statistics show that these numbers are still increasing. So people are constantly posting in social networks, giving us humongous amount of data or big data that we can analyze and find the patterns and build predictive models upon them. So these predictive models, what can we use them for? Well, in the context of social network, something that is obvious and we have been heard about it a lot is targeted advertising. Also, we can use it for reputation monitoring services or sexual predation detection. So far, seems like we have the big data that we want and some good motivations. So it's not as simple as it seems, or at least it's not as simple as the coach here thinks. When we are trying to do the social network analysis, one issue that we have to deal with is that user profiles are never complete. We have missing attributes and misrepresentation of attributes, which degrade the quality of prediction. So we need to know the accurate values of attributes to build the predictive models. When we want to build predictive models, we can either use the user-generated content, such as likes, comments, and status messages, or we can consider the friendship links between users. In our study, we are using the friendship links between users to address the problem of identifying age and gender in social networks. The data that we are using comes from a social network launched in Belgium named Netlog, and we try to define age and gender on them. In order to make that more clear, I'll show you a high-level illustration of how our model works, and then I'll give you an example that how we get these results. So when we want to predict any attribute in social networks, the problem is there's only a limited number of people who express their attributes. But that's okay, we can work with that. We start from those people. Then our model uses an iterative approach, which means at each iteration, we pass attributes from those users who express it, and they are colored here, to those who do not express it, which are gray here. And this iterative manner continues until the network converges, which means we get to a state that there is no users that we do not know their attributes. So imagine that we have a very small social network and we want to predict gender there. The only users that we know their genders here are Susie and Andy. At first iteration, Susie passes her female attribute to all her 3 neighbors, and Andy passes her male attribute to his only one neighbor. So this finishes and we go to second iteration. At second iteration, each user that got female attribute from Susie passes it to their own neighbors. And the only neighbor who got a male attribute passes it to his own neighbors. So voila, we are all done and it's converged. So what you just saw was the most simple approach that we use. In order to get better results, we had to explore more complicated approaches. And the best result that we could get was that when, in predicting age, we can get the result with only 6 years of difference from the actual age, and we can predict gender with 80% of accuracy, which means out of each 10 cases, we get 8 right. So this is a very good model. So where can we apply this good model? Well, one good example is that, for example, the law enforcement authorities can use this model to identify the sexual predators because they tend to mislead their victims by misrepresentation of age and gender. So all in all, what we had, the problem that we have to deal with in social network is that we have missing attributes and also misrepresentation of attributes, which means that some people lie on social networks. So in order to solve that, we use the publicly available information to get and define the privately accurate ones. This will give us more accurate models. And using that, we can make social network a better, safer, and stronger platform for us to collaborate and connect. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed that.